Hello there, fellow Wallalo warriors, and welcome to game number 3 in round 4 of the ZeroEmpires Invitational between JoN and Toady. As you can see by the scoreboard up at the top of the screen, the score is currently 1-1, and this will be the decider to see who will go through to the semi-finals. We've had a couple of great games so far, and to top it all off, we are going to finish with a mega random map, which is, I think, just fantastic, really. Let's be honest. Mega Random is just one of those maps that is always fun to watch, albeit sometimes a little bit unfair. But that's why we have restarts, and hopefully we won't see a restart here. Well, in fact, I know we won't see a restart here because this has been the game that's been posted to the forums. So, yes, up to the north of the map, in the red, we have got Toady playing as the Japanese. And down to the south, in the blue, we've got JoN playing as the Japanese as well. And we will take a very in-depth look at the map and try and get an understanding of it, because the map itself is one of the most important factors in Mega Random. Most of the games that you play on a map, such as, I don't know, Arabia or Team Islands or any standard map, you know the layout of the map. But with Mega Random, it is entirely, as the name suggests, random, and it is very important that you scout well and figure it all out. And this one certainly looks like it's interesting, that is for sure. But while they're in the Dark Age, before we take a look at the map, I just want to point out that I've been at work for the last 8 hours. It is 6:30 in the morning, and I thought, you know what, I'm coming home, I'm recording a video because I'm motivated. But hopefully I will not fall asleep halfway through the video, and if that does happen, I apologise in advance. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the map then and see what this is all about. It's interesting. Let's be honest, it is interesting. Both of them here do have horses for scouts, and we'll have a look. You can see the horse doesn't have a fantastic fog of war, view even, line of sight, that's the word I'm looking for. In fact, it's about the same as a sheep. I think it's exactly the same as a sheep. In fact, maybe even less. It's hard to tell exactly. But yeah, I mean, obviously not a great line of sight, and having that decrease in line of sight on their primary scout here is going to make it a little bit more challenging to play this map effectively, because, as I say, Mega Random, it's all about the scouting in the Dark Age and the early Feudal Age. So, first of all, the main thing to note is that we do have walls here, though the players should not be sort of like let their guard down. They shouldn't be too lax with these walls, because they are only palisades, and whilst they will offer protection from a drush, they will not offer too much protection from the Feudal Age onwards, and they do have quite a large surface area for attack as well. But oh my god, I'm getting so excited about this map because it's just looking better and better the longer we look at it. We've got little palisade gates in here, fantastic stuff, part of the Forgotten Empires of course, and a ton of deer. It looks like there's a ton of deer for both of them, though I would say actually that Toady has a little bit of an unfair advantage with the deer here. He certainly has a few more, and to balance that out, there is no boar for either of them by the looks of things. However, there is a surrounding mass of water around this landmass, and that is obviously going to be a vital thing to take advantage of. And so far we see Toady putting up a dock, JoN on the other hand not sticking up a dock just yet. But water control here, coupled with land control, it's a little bit like Nomad with walls and a lot of safe resources to take in the early game. Not only that, but to add to the craziness, to add to the randomness, we've got a ton of relics in the middle as well, which would make taking the center in the Castle Age incredibly useful to the players. And, you know, imagine this is kind of like Arena crossed with Nomad ×2, I would say, because, you know, if you're going for these relics in the center, that is a viable strategy. If you're going for water control, that is a viable strategy, but at the same time you've got palisade walls, so it's not going to be a huge stalemate until the Imperial Age, because these walls will go down, unlike in Arena, where you've got to deal with stone walls. So this is really exciting, and this map looks fantastic. As you can see as well, huge stone and gold mines all over the place, so there is an abundance of resource. The only thing I don't like is the bamboo, which is probably the worst looking, crappiest looking tree in the game, if you could even call it a tree. It just looks crap, but what can you do, eh? What can you do? Oh, there's JoN's second deer patch, certainly a disadvantage to him in comparison. So far, like I say, we've got Toady sticking out the dock, second ship on the way out, and JoN so far, no dock at all. He is taking the shorefish though, which is an incredibly fast way to gather some early food. So lucky for him, his mill is on the shorefish there, which is going to make up for the fact he does have a few less deer. But I imagine we will see fast castles from both of these guys. Toady at the moment on 24 population, and as I say, he should be able to do a comfortable fast castle here. I mean, just look how many deer he has. He's going to have fishing ships as well. As long as he doesn't neglect to put up 1 or 2 farms, he should be fine. And if he goes up on 28 population, I think he'll go up on 27. He will be absolutely fine for a fast castle. JoN, on the other hand, like I say, late to put that dock up so far, taking advantage of the deer, and we will see what comes in next. He's taking some gold, and okay. And I don't know if he's actually just planning to fast castle and taking that gold really early. We'll see if he clicks up after this 24th villager. But if he does click up now, on 24, we've got Toady who's on 28, who's not clicked up yet. But he will click up with 4 extra population. And JoN here starting to seed some farms. I just don't understand why he's not building a dock. And this could be really costly for him. We've seen in the past water maps where the person with the water advantage, or the fishing advantage ultimately, is the one to pull through and get a huge eco lead. We may see the same here. The fact that JoN is seeding farms is a little bit worrying to me, and I hope that he comes to his senses and builds a dock fairly soon. But I've got a feeling, I don't know, I almost get the sense that he wants to do a bit of feudal pressure here as well. These 3 villagers on gold indicate that he's planning a fast castle, but I think he's going to struggle getting the food with this setup. But he's also putting a barracks up as well, which says to me, okay, maybe he's going to try something in the feudal age, but I don't know why if he does, because that really does not make a whole lot of sense to me. Toady definitely feeling a little bit more comfortable with the fast castle, 30 population, 5 fishing ships on the water, and he's still got deer to boot. He is obviously taking advantage of that double deer patch, which unfortunately for JoN he cannot do. I feel a little bit sorry for him in that situation, but that is just the way of Mega Random. It's like I say, can be a little bit unfair sometimes, and that's why you have the option to restart if you wish. But yeah, I mean, this is, like I say, quite a big mistake from JoN, putting these farms up and the barracks. He could have invested way earlier into a dock, and he could have 800 food very nearly at this point. So what's his plan? I mean, is he going to try and fast castle this? I mean, he went up on a very few villagers to do that. 24 is just not enough, and indeed he's putting up an archery range in a pretty interesting location. Toady also up to the feudal age, but unlike JoN, he will be fast castling, and there's the market going down, there's the blacksmith going down, or going up rather, and look at that resource, that 1,000 food in the bank. That is way more than he needs, but that is a good sign. That means his economy is in the right place, and he's got the advantage at this stage. The thing is, if JoN does some nice feudal aggression, it might cause Toady to take some losses, but he is putting up a blacksmith now, and he will also do a fast castle. But like I say, he has botched this fast castle. 24 population, going up on 24, not ideal. He's going to be slow. He's lacking the food at this stage, and he's relying on farms, which is, much less economically viable than fishing ships. You get a lot more bang for your buck with the fishing ships on the water. Not only are they faster, they are cheaper in the long run as well, as you don't have to keep reseeding fishing ships, obviously. And they have a dual purpose. I mean, once the fishing ships run out, you can do fish traps later in the game, but fish traps are not really the dog's bollocks. Let's put it that way. They are not the dog's bollocks at all. They are terrible. So yeah, JoN is seriously screwing this one up at the moment, and I just don't know why, because he played the first game fantastically. So JoN's clicked up, and meanwhile Toady is on 25%. So Toady's got a big advantage going into castle, and obviously the question is now, will he make that advantage count? Will he, push that advantage? Or will he try and boom up? Now, previously we've seen Toady do a great landing. We've seen him play very aggressively as well. And if he plays aggressively here, I think it will work out very well for him. As I said, these are only palisade walls. But if he tries to boom up, it also could work out fairly well. But it would just, I think, draw out the game, and it might even give JoN a chance to really bring it back in terms of economy, which is what you don't want to do. If you can actually get the pressure on quickly here and take advantage of the fact that you've got a stronger lead or a bigger lead at this point, then obviously you are going to be able to pin the nail in the coffin. So we've got Toady on, what, 75%, and I'm not seeing any military buildings from him yet, but I'm seeing a ton of villagers on gold. So, you know, he needs to get up a barracks quickly, needs to get up, well, he's probably better off going for archers, but, I mean, knights he could do. Wouldn't be the end of the world if he went for some knights here, but obviously archers generally the better option for the Japanese. We will see what he does, but like I say, no barracks yet, so we won't see very quickly. He could start making some galleys, but he didn't make any going up to the fuselage. Interesting decision, and I'm not sure why, again, like, he didn't make any galleys there. At least he would have known then if JoN was on the water, and, you know, he may have even hit his economy from back here as well. You know, could hit that wood line, could hit these this mill, so it was definitely worthwhile. It would have been worthwhile to make some galleys, and in fact, it's almost risky not to, because obviously these fishing ships could be in danger very soon if JoN were to come along with some military units. But oh yes, monasteries from Toady, and there we go, he's sending all those villagers over to gold. He is not messing around, and he is going to take those relics in the middle. He's seen them. He's spotted them out, and he says, I want me some of that pie. And he is going to get... Oh, look at this. Siege Workshop going down as well. We're going to see a monk and probably a mangonel combination, and this is going to be pretty difficult for JoN to deal with archers. The mangonel, of course, when it comes out, if it comes out, will be a little bit of a pain to deal with. But the monk's definitely going to take these relics. And, oh, Toady could lose a villager or two here. There is +1 attack on these archers, and Toady's going to lose 1 or 2 villagers. The siege workshop just going up. And crossbow research done for JoN here as well. This monk may want to keep himself out of trouble and even try and get a conversion if he can. But there's the siege workshop for Toady, and the mangonel is coming out. JoN's reaction is going to have to be pretty quick to this, I feel. Obviously, he knows now what strategy JoN is going for, and a couple of knights and a couple of scouts, maybe. In fact, no, it's just scouts. I mean, no point making knights if you know your opponent's making monks. But a couple of scouts would be really valuable to JoN at this stage, just to deal with the mangonels, just to deal with the monks, and continuing to make some crossbows as well would certainly help. Of course, you could try and counter this with siege and mangonels of his own. Well, siege and monks of his own. But at the moment, he's already got those crossbows out, and he's looking to breach the walls of Toady. Pardon me, while he still can. I should not have drank that big glass of Coca-Cola before I started streaming, because it is making me gassy. Lovely. But yeah, like I say, I mean, Toady's eco now, I mean, he doesn't have to spend so much on farms at all. These fishing ships are keeping him ticking over nicely, and of course he's got an absolute ton of villagers on gold at this stage as well. So yeah, he can afford these monks at this time, and that is what matters. If he can get a couple of conversions here, JoN's going to be hard pressed to really deal with it. Sanctity has been done, so these guys do have a little bit more HP, and there's 2 conversions, 3 conversions, and the monk's just going to heal each other up. They may even stay alive here. Oh no, 1's down. But fantastic play by Toady there. 3 conversions, and the monks are just going to heal each other up and get these guys up to full health once again. That is a huge victory for Toady already so far, and JoN's response was to build a mangonel indeed. But like I say, scouts would be a huge advantage at this point. Obviously, if Toady starts converting more crossbows, if JoN later decides to make some scouts, it's going to be more difficult to deal with. So the earlier you do that, the better. But, I mean, Toady's got map control. He has got everything at this stage that he needs to start pushing in. He's got the monks, he's got the mangonels, and these monks are going to be in no short supply, trust me, as he keeps continuing to collect relics. So once those relics start coming in as well, that gold count is just going to shoot up incredibly high. I mean, how many relics are here? We've got, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 12 relics, I think, or something like that. That is a lot of gold per second, and if you were the Aztecs, it would be even more gold per second. That would be GPS. It would be a lot of GPS. Okay, well, JoN continuing to make the crossbows for now, And, well, Toady's just going to keep collecting those relics up and trying to heal his monks up as well as best he can. This one rogue crossbowman managing to do more damage than he probably should as his shirt turns from blue to red. Toady really is a true Wololo warrior. You know, he is known by the masses as king. No, maybe not king, but he's up there with the high-ranking Wololo warriors in the world. Oh, yes, not even a spec, maybe a little bit of damage done to that mangonel by that, but good micro by Toady as well, and this monk mass starting to pick up as he secures himself 4 relics even, and he does not show a sign of stopping anytime soon. And obviously, the beauty of collecting the relics here, and the beauty of going with monks here when there are so many relics is because eventually the monks will just pay for themselves with the relics they've collected, and meanwhile your economy can sustain military production of monks and also afford to advance to the next stage and get all of those tech researches you need as well. Because, I mean, just look at Toady's eco already. You know, 750 wood, 750 food. He's in no short supply of that, and really Toady should be getting up his 2nd and 3rd TC. You know, at this stage he can afford it easily, and he's got the food to keep villagers coming out as well. He's got no reason not to make that 2nd and 3rd TC here, because otherwise, like I say, JoN could start to pull back in eco once he's got 3 TCs up, and he will have the 3rd fairly soon. Problem is, he is on the back foot here, and obviously these mangonels will take the town centres down fairly quick as well. So, like I say, Toady at this stage should look at those resources and think, I can comfortably make, you know, 2 TCs off of this. Oops, pop up there. And, oh, Toady's going to get a good kill here. 1 kill, and, oh man, that's another one down. The villagers are dropping like flies as, well, Toady's going to try and get some more conversions in here. Oh, he converted the mangonel as well. That is just perfect. And Toady now, well, he's got this game in the bag, let's be honest. This TC continuing to be built. If Toady's careful, oh, there we go. Villagers continuing to fall. And, wow, JoN must have lost 5 or 6 trying to build this TC here. And if Toady pays attention, he will retarget them, and they're going to die yet again. Are they going to die? Yes, they are. And I think that TC may end up going up at this rate, actually. Oh, no, it's not. And, wow, JoN is getting absolutely destroyed here as these monks are just getting the conversions they need. And the mangonels are finishing the job. And another conversion. JoN cannot do anything as soon as he lets a mangonel loose. They are getting converted. This siege workshop converted. This archery range converted. Wow. JoN, GG indeed. Toady's going to take the game, and what a fantastic play by him. What a fantastic play, considering that JoN is actually higher seeded than Toady in this tournament. Toady played that game phenomenally well, doing a fantastic monk and mangonel combo there, and really just playing to the advantages of the map. What could JoN have done better? Well, he could have fished, that is for sure. And had he have done that, he would have had a faster castle time, a faster feudal time potentially as well. And may have stood up to a little bit more of that aggression there. And like I say, once he saw the monks, a couple of scouts definitely wouldn't have hurt him. Especially, as I say, if he'd have had some water, you know, if he had five fishing ships, he could have easily put up a stable, made some extra scouts to put in there and deal with this army. But once this army gets to a sizable, you know, to a good size, it is very difficult to come back from that kind of situation. So, fantastic play by Toady. Toady's going to go through to the semi-finals, where I believe he will meet Spring. I may be wrong, but yes, that may be a tough one for him. But good luck to him anyway. Unlucky for JoN. And as usual, guys, I've been Zach. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.